Welcome to the Kayfabe Krimes podcast. I'm your host, Salih Iqbal, and welcome to our Wrestle Kingdom 13 review. So, Wrestle Kingdom 13, the biggest show of the year, minus WWE's WrestleMania, but it was a really fun show. Some amazing wrestling, as you would expect from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it was. Some of the matches were a bit like, ooh, okay, well, All Elite Wrestling, we know everyone in the Elite basically isn't going to be there, so they have to lose because half of them are holding belts, or at least challenging for belts. But it was really fun. So, a quick overview of the show. Every title changed hands. Like, all 10 titles that were contested. Only one match on the main card wasn't for a title, and the only title that wasn't on the main card, the never openweight 3-man tag title, bloody hell, that's a mouthful, was they decided a number one contender for New Year's Dash in a gauntlet match at the beginning, which got rid of the New Japan Rumble, which, the New Japan Rumble's always fun because it's just people with weird gimmicks coming out and throwing each other over the top rope, which, why wouldn't you want that? But let's get that. Yeah, there was just this looming thing of All Elite Wrestling. So every match that involved the Elite was like, okay, well, they're losing, aren't they? Plus things with Kenny Omega. There were reports saying, oh, he's meeting with WWE. There were reports saying that maybe he's going to All Elite Wrestling. And it's that kind of had something over the match where it was like, okay, this is an amazing match, Tanahashi and Kenny Omega, but it's like, ooh, but what if Kenny's not here? Then Tanahashi has to win, and Tanahashi literally signed a contract like a few days before Wrestle Kingdom. So that's the quick overview of the show. Really great show. If you haven't watched it yet, even if you listened to the results, definitely go and watch it. I had some of the results spoiled for me before I watched it, and it didn't matter to me. It was well worth watching the show because although it was a 4-hour show, 4.5 hours, including the pre-show, if you just watched the match, it didn't feel like 4.5 hours. It was just like I watched it from 12 in the morning till 4:30 because that's how I usually watch wrestling with the pay-per-views and for WWE. But it was great. It didn't feel too long, and it's just outstanding wrestling. And if you love outstanding wrestling, just watch Wrestle Kingdom. It's going to be amazing. So to kick off, we have the pre-show, which was a gauntlet match for the number one contendership of the never open weight 3-man tag titles, which I think at the moment is held by Bullet Club OG Good Guy Tama Tonga, which we'll talk about later. Tongaloa and Good Luck Fale. I technically Bad Luck Fale, but Good Guy Tama Tonga. But so the match started with Team The Elite of Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, and the Tokyo Pimp against Team Yuji Nagata, Dave Finlay, and the other one. That's there. I think they're Bullet Club Hunters. I don't remember. So it was a weird beginning. I mean, it was obvious the Elite people weren't going to win because Hangman Page isn't going to be there anymore, and Marty Scurll, we all know he wants to go to All Elite Wrestling. So Dave Finlay rolls up, I think, the Tokyo Pimp after a distraction from Chase Owens, who came out with the Elite, which was a bit weird. Who knows what's going to happen there? We'll probably find out more at New Year's Dash. Then out comes Best Friends and Goto, who, let's be honest, Best Friends and Goto are always fun. But they are eliminated by roll-up again from Dave Finlay. He's basically the roll-up master at this point, I suppose. Then out comes Kaze ni Nare. Suzuki-gun comes out with my guy, Minoru Suzuki, and the others. I think Killer Elite Squad. Dave Finlay and Lance Archer. I mean, Yuji Nagata and bloody Minoru Suzuki were having a match of their own. Like, in the ring, they were fucking throwing the hardest forearms at each other, which is like the best thing to watch. These two grizzled old men just like whacking each other. And then even when they were both tagged out of the match, outside, they were basically having their own match. Eventually, Killer Elite Squad takes out, I'm not sure which one, of the guys from Yuji Nagata's team. Then we have, the second best team in this match, not quality-wise. We have Yano, Taichi, and Makabe, who, as soon as they come out, are just... Oh, not Taichi, Taguchi, are just getting fucked up by Suzuki-gun, and it's amazing. Obviously, you've got the comedy act, plus Makabe, against Suzuki-gun, who are known for fucking guys up. And it was just so much fun. It was just like... they were just destroying them, basically. I think Taguchi got some offense in. He hit some hip attacks on Minoru Suzuki, which, I mean, Suzuki is going to sell for Taguchi. So 2 hip attacks took Suzuki out of the match late on. There was a big kerfuffle in the ring. Yano hits double low blows on Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Rolls up Davey Boy Smith Jr., gets the win. It looks like Team Chaos / Taguchi Japan are challenging for the 3-man Never Openweight Tag titles. And I did forget, Makabe and Suzuki were also throwing some hard forearms. It just sounded like Suzuki was breaking everything when he hit someone with a forearm. It's the best. And post-match, he fucks up some of the Young Lions, which, let's be honest, we all watch a Suzuki match to see him fuck up some of the Young Lions. So now moving on to the main card. The opening match was just stellar, maybe the best match of the card. It was Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi for the Never Openweight title, and it was just great. I say great wrestling for the whole show, but this was, I think, my favourite match on the show. Maybe, but bar the main event. Like, it could have also been the best match on the show, bar the main event. It was just, like, Callis says it straight away as soon as the match starts. It was almost action too quick to call. It was just, they were all over the place. It was as if they were wrestling a junior heavyweight match. Technically, Ospreay is still a junior, but Kota Ibushi was moving just as fast, just as fast as Will Ospreay. So it was like Will Ospreay versus Ricochet, but a bit more rough. It's New Japan, so it's going to be super rough. So just some awesome spots in the match, because Ibushi tries to do a moonsault outside onto Will Ospreay, and he just gets fucking kicked in the head. And I'm like, what the fish? It was like, wow. Again, Ospreay hits a handstand springboard off the ropes, comes back, hits Kota Ibushi in the head with a kick. Again, kicks are great. Ibushi basically knees Ospreay in the face, and it just looks like Ospreay's out cold. That's amazing selling from Will Ospreay. I genuinely thought he just got knocked out, and I was like, oh shit, are they calling the match now? But he eventually got up. It's Will Ospreay. He will get up because he's nuts. Not in a good way, but he's crazy. Again, they really showed how tired they were. Obviously, they were tired, but there's, oh, my body is flailing, and then there's, my face is just like, I can't keep up. And it just showed how tough these two guys are. The end of the match was a bit weird. It was kind of like, oh shit. It was a fantastic match, and the ending almost put this like, oh my god, what's going on? Ospreay has Ibushi on his knees, and he's just like lining up from almost like Shinsuke would set up a Kinshasa to the back of the head. So Ibushi was facing away from Will Ospreay, gets his forearm, fucking sprints in. They said he hit him with his elbow. I think that's what Don Callis said, but it looks like he hits him with his forearm. Back of the head, Ibushi goes down. He just looks like he's out like a light. Like, even the ref was kind of like, okay, don't pick him up yet. I don't know. Ibushi's just, his eyes are closed. It doesn't look like he's responding, and it's kind of scary. But I mean, I'm assuming the ref had the wherewithal, and Ibushi was conscious enough to be like, yeah, I'll take a Stormbreaker. Will Ospreay gets him up for the Stormbreaker. It kind of looks like he's deadweighting him, unless that's amazing selling from Ibushi. Hits him with the Stormbreaker. 1, 2, 3. New never open weight champion, Will Ospreay. Hey, it's awesome for Will Ospreay. I really want to see him carry that belt and have some interesting matches. I guess, before it goes back to Hiroki Goto, who always has the belt, I want him to maybe face... I guess there'll be other juniors I want him to face, but I want him to face maybe Suzuki. I don't know if he's fought Suzuki, even for the never openweight title. Maybe he could put it up against Juice, but I guess Juice already has a title by the end. We'll get to that point. But yeah, I'd love to see him fight Ishii for it. That'd be great. Like, Ishii's just like a real man, kind of like Suzuki. But yeah, they got doctors out there, they got a stretcher, they've got Kota Ibushi on the stretcher and got him out. I checked whilst I was watching the show, it looked like Ibushi was okay. He was knocked out, but it wasn't like a super serious concussion, but time will tell. Hopefully Ibushi wasn't hurt too badly, and then we can remember this match really fondly, as opposed to the match that injured Kota Ibushi seriously. Next up, we have the 3-way tag match for the Junior Heavyweight Tag title. So many titles in New Japan, between Sho and Yo with Rocky Romero, so Roppongi 3K, LIJ, which is Takagi and Bushi. Takagi is the ex-guy I think they signed, fairly new and joined LIJ, and champions from Suzuki-gun, I think from Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, and I couldn't remember the name, I didn't write it down, but IWGP Junior Tag titles. Sho and Yo controlled this match. I don't really watch a lot of the tag matches in New Japan, but Sho and Yo, I love them now. Like, they're so shiny. Rocky Romero was out there with the smoke gun, and yeah, Sho and Yo were all over the place. Double suicide dives left and right, amazing. Yeah, and they really controlled this match. The match, I guess it started with Sho and Yo and Team El Desperado in the match. Obviously, I didn't realize in a 3-way tag match in New Japan, only 2 competitors can be in the ring at any time. I'd think you'd have 3, because then it's more fair, but I guess that's my preference. And there's another 3-way tag match later on, so I guess I'm wrong and New Japan is right. So I guess it's a good way to protect the champs, as we'll see, because Takagi tags himself in, takes out it's not Bushi. It's the one that's not El Desperado in who are the champions. He takes him out of the ring, and he just mullers Sho and Yo. He mullers both of them. He barely looks like he's a junior. He's a large boy. He is a very large boy, and from that point on, like, he just murked Sho and Yo. The finish of the match came when Bushi runs in the ring, takes one of the guys from Sho and Yo was outside. It might be Yo, hits him with a suicide dive. Takagi hits the other Sho and Yo with his finisher, which I think is called the Last of the Dragon. It's kind of like a fisherman's pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Jesus, he just killed them. And the champions weren't in the ring for the finish, so that maybe sets up a New Year's Dash, champions versus LIJ. It was just a really good match, and even though I don't know if I'm a fan of only having 2 legal men in the match when it's a 3-way, it was great. And Takagi is... I can't wait to see him fight for the junior heavyweight title, because he's just not a junior, and it would be a really interesting match, because your junior champion, we'll get to, is far more suited to the size and the speed of a junior than Takagi. But I'd love to see more from Takagi. Next up, we've got a match that's sort of close to my heart, because it's a British match. It's for the undisputed heavyweight British Championship from Rev Pro, which ended with them, crowning a new champion and actually having a new belt. So the belt kind of looks like an IWGP belt now. Beforehand, it looked kind of naff. I didn't want to say that, but it's close to my heart because one of my favourite shows I've ever seen was the Rev Pro X New Japan show, which was great. It was like my first non-WWE event, and it was amazing. So, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ishii. Okay, this is also arguably one of the best matches on the show. Goddamn police car went past my house and then I had to stop. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ishii, one of the best matches on the show. Ishii, for his size and his age, is a fast boy. Stone Pitbull really suits him. And then Zack Sabre Jr., obviously submission specialist, had a great 2018, and he just was working Ishii just like hold after hold. Whenever Ishii looked like he got the upper hand, Zack Sabre Jr. was just like, oh no you don't, and just flips him over, gets him in another armbar. He was really working over Ishii's arms. I think it looked like he was just doing one to start with. I think Ishii's right arm was taped up, but then just like he was just like all over him, like he was tangling him up like he was a little, literally an octopus, because the match ends with Zack Sabre Jr. tying Ishii into an octopus with both of his arms behind his back and his foot on the back of Ishii's head, and like Ishii can't tap because his arms are tied up, and he just has to nod and like he submits. And it was like, oh shit, Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. came out with his manager to begin the match, dropped a great promo saying Zack Sabre Jr. was great. Zack Sabre Jr. is great. A great spot I forgot to mention was Ishii did a superplex on Zack Sabre Jr., but Zack Sabre Jr., you can see like he tucks his head a little bit so he can roll out and put Ishii in an armbar, and it's like, what the fish, dude? You just hit with a superplex. That's amazing. Zack Sabre Jr. is now going to come back here. He's going to put everyone in the Conservative Party into an armbar and then solve Brexit himself. It's just Zack Sabre Jr., man. So we now move on to the IWGP Tag Heavyweight Titles match between the Young Bucks, Evil and Sanada, who won Tag League 2 years in a row, which is pretty impressive, and Good Guy Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, the Gorillas of Destiny. Good Guy Tama Tonga is hilarious. Young Bucks kind of had lose face. They were like, it was kind of like, why are you here? You're going to All Elite Wrestling. It's not like you're going to win the match. So it was kind of like, the match was basically between Evil and Sanada and the champions, Gorillas of Destiny. Evil and Sanada then come out. Sanada always looks like a badass. Love his like sick anime style beard. Evil looks cheesy and tacky as always with a stupid scythe. Like Evil, like when he takes off his entrance gear, he just looks like a normal dude in a singlet with his hair braided. Like it doesn't suit because he just wears a singlet. Not even like Undertaker style singlet with the leather trousers, just singlet. He's great though. As we'll get onto it, Gorillas of Destiny come out with Jado and Bad Luck Fale, and they're great. Obviously, Good Guy Tama Tonga is just all over the place, too sweet in dancing. They got these kind of I think they usually wear masks when they come out. He looked almost like Deadshot, Iron Man type masks. Tama Tonga in red, Tongaloa in like a purpley blue. They looked like $1 million, not even $100 million. And yeah, it was. Good guy Tama Tonga's hilarious. He was saying "I love you" to everyone, to the Jacksons, to even Sanada. He was so nice. The match starts with Tama Tonga and I think Nick Jackson, and he goes over to shake Evil's hand. Evil shakes it. Ref calls it as a tag. Tama Tonga gets thrown out. It's just really funny. It was just, that's amazing character work. Like, Tama Tonga has just an amazing character and amazing character skills, and it's just great to watch. Moving on. The match was great. The Young Bucks came out very aggressively. I guess it's like this is potentially our last match at the Tokyo Dome. Let's fucking give it 110%. Oops, I said the F word. And they really truly did. It was great. It was a bit of a cluster. There was this awesome spot where I think one of the Jacksons had Sanada in a sharpshooter, and Tongaloa was going to run in and break it, and Tama Tonga, good guy Tama Tonga, stops him and is like, no, you can't run in, that's breaking the rules. And it's like he's playing up this good guy thing a lot, and they go around to the side and they push the ring rope in, which I guess technically it's also breaking the rules, but it's less breaking the rules than getting in the ring. Push the ring rope forward so Sanada can reach out, grab it, break the hold. It's amazing. Ref gets taken out, I think, and everyone runs in the ring. It's a cluster, including Fale and Jado, and Evil and Sanada, and the Young Bucks clear everyone. One of the Bucks gets taken out. Evil and Sanada hit a magic killer, followed by a moonsault from Sanada, just to put that extra punctuating point on, okay, I need to make sure I get this pin. Gets it, 1, 2, 3. They win the tag titles, I think 2 years in a row at the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom, which is impressive. Winning 2 tag leagues back to back, and then winning at the Tokyo Dome 2 years in a row. Super impressive. Next up, maybe my least favorite match of the night. It was just Juice Robinson versus Cody Rhodes for the IWGP US title. It's just, they're good wrestlers, but they're not great wrestlers. I think they're very good in their own right, but they're not Kota Ibushi level, which I think if one of them, I mean, last year I think Cody fought Ibushi and it was an amazing match. So I think if you have one guy like Ibushi in that match, the other one of these two can really like fight at his level. But it's just, and also, but mostly it was the AEW thing. Cody and Brandy, who looked $1 million as well, were dressed like the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I believe are the team. The guy who was financing something, Khan, who was financing AEW, owns that American football team. He also owns Fulham football team here in the Premier League. And yeah, it was just, I think it was a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 11 where Juice was a young lion, or had just graduated for a young lion status, and it was Cody's first New Japan. It was his first Tokyo Dome, which, let's be honest, it was his first massive show outside of WrestleMania. So they were fun. It was great. Brandy was really good in this match. I'd like to shout out Tiger Hattori, the referee, who was so cute. She didn't know what to do. And yeah, it was just great. He was just like, Brandy out, because Juice and Cody tries to hit Juice with the title. Juice gets out of the way. They fight a little bit. Juice hits him. He doesn't hit him with the Pulp Fiction. He gets him down. He goes on the top rope. Brandy runs in the ring, covers Cody. It's like, damn. And she's like, oh, hit me, because I think that's a DQ. I mean, yeah, if you're deliberately hitting someone who's, like, it's a thing in WWE, I think, as well. If you hit one of the female, like, people who come out with a wrestler, not a valet, but, like, someone who comes out with a wrestler, they disqualify you, because that's tight. So she's trying to goad him in. Tiger Hattori gets out of the ring eventually. Cody and Juice go back and forth. Cody distracts Satori. Brandy runs in with a sick spear and some fast hands. Tiger Tori turns around and sees Brandy. He's like, "What are you doing? Come on, you can't be doing this." And he chucks her out, not just of the ring and out of the stadium. Well, not the stadium, out of the outside area. It's just funny. Tiger Tori's just like, get out. He's hilarious. Because he's just like old and he's just great. They made a good point on commentary saying, "Oh, they didn't disqualify Cody because they want a clear winner no matter what." So they go back and forth. It's really good wrestling. It's like a very good WWE match, but it's not Kota Ibushi level, which is something you sort of expect on a New Japan card, which is a shame, but also a great thing. So it's kind of, you don't really know, but it was a serviceable enough match. Let's see, the two hit each other's finishers. So Juice hits a crossroads, which Cody kicks out of, and then Cody hits a pulp friction, which was very, very messy. It's like a kill switch from that what's his name, Christian used to use. It was a very messy setup. He hits it, only gets a 2 count, and I mean, the commentary were really good. Don Callis, Ken something, and Chris Charlton, that was also there, really great at like being like, "Oh, he didn't get the full welly of the pulp friction, so he only got 2 count." Amazing. That's really good commentary. Not Michael Cole fighting with Renee Young, who I feel bad for in WWE. Anyway, this is New Japan. So then the finish of the match comes when Juice hits Cody with a right hand or left hand of God. Yeah, he hits him with 2 left hands of God, and then hits him with 2 pulp frictions. When he's going for the second one, you almost think, "Oh shit, Cody's gonna get out of this, hit him the crossroads and win." No, pulp friction hits him. It was just like done, out like a light. 1, 2, 3. Juice wins. New Japan are really behind Juice Robinson. I know that sort of slowed down a little bit. I mean, he beat Kenny for the title, but I think he beat Kenny for the title. But yeah, really great for Juice. Hopefully they keep on pushing him. I think he's got really, really good potential, and I just hope the stuff works out for him. Cody's All Elite Wrestling. He's the man. He's amazing. He's going to be fine. I hope he does come back to New Japan and fight a couple of matches, but All Elite Wrestling's all for him. Serviceable match. Yeah. So next up, we have a juniors match for the junior title, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, which is just Cruiserweight title, which was an unexpected juniors match. I guess I watched Wrestle Kingdom last year. I watched the juniors match, the Fatal 4-Way. There was so much in the air, flips and everything. This match was not that. It was athletic, but it wasn't high spots. So again, it wasn't the junior match I personally wanted. I love juniors matches. They were very, very fast paced, but I sort of got that with the Ibushi Ospreay match. So the opening of this match, the entrance was like, they put so much time into it was Kushida versus Bone Soldier. So Kushida versus Ishimori. Kushida coming in as champion. Kushida as entrance is this kid with a Kushida mask, which is very lifelike, which is very scary. Japan. He comes out. Taguchi is Doc Brown for some reason. I think they were like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids plus Back to the Future, which was weird. He sort of puts this kid on the stage. He presses his weird remote control thing, and it causes smoke. In comes Kushida, the ace, and he's got loose face, but WWE want him to be apparently in NXT Japan, so who knows, maybe that's why he dropped the belt to Ishimori. So match starts. Like I said, the match isn't very high flying, but it's very tough, very brutal. yeah, I mean, Ishimori is jacked as hell, and I think maybe, although he is fast, he is really fast. I think because of his physique, because of the way he carries himself, matches where he's very brutal as opposed to doing high flying stuff like someone like Ospreay would do, really suits him. Obviously, Kushida's a great submissions wrestler and a good striker, so that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to get the hoverboard lock in. I think going on, Kushida does do this awesome spot actually where it's weird. They've got each other in wheelbarrows. Kushida reverses it, gets Ishimori in a wheelbarrow, throws his legs up, lands on the ref's shoulders. What's the ref going to do? If he moves, he's going to hurt the competitor. Kushida runs in and kicks Ishimori's arm, it was just a really clever spot using the ref. Like in WWE, you wouldn't dream of using Mike Chioda to help you pull off a spot. But in New Japan, they're so creative, so much freedom. It's just great. So the match finishes where Ishimori like absorbs the power of this massive right hand from Kushida. Like it's like he's coming. It's like a hooking downwards right hand into Ishimori's face. It looks amazing. Like he either really punched him or he sold that amazingly. He absorbs that like straight away. He gets up, hits Kushida with this massive, I think it's called the Bloody Cross, which is like, I don't even know how to describe that move. Pins him. Ishimori is your new champion. Another title changes hand. All 10 titles changed hands even. Get these hands. And it was like, wow. It wasn't a junior match I was expecting, but it was very brutal. And I really, really want to see Ishimori fight Takagi from LIJ. They're both very brutal fighters, and I think it'd be a very interesting way to take the junior division, at least for a couple matches. Maybe at Dominion they can fight each other, or they might fight each other at the Best of the Super Juniors. That would be awesome. In the Best Super Juniors finals, Ishimori versus Takagi, or Takagi wins and challenges Ishimori for the title. So now we come onto the only non-title match on the main card. Switchblade Jay White, now leader of Bullet Club, but you got Good Guy Tamatanga, it's weird, versus, I wrote in my notes, Sad Okada, because the promo showed Sad Okada with his balloons and his red hair, and I'm like, Okada's going to get wrecked. And no, a Switchblade comes out with Gedo in this amazing pure white gear with red like cuts in it, and Gedo kind of looks like he's his dad, who was wearing a white jacket and an awesome Switchblade. I don't know if he's wearing the Switchblade Bullet Club t-shirt, but the Switchblade Bullet Club logo looks amazing. It's like a Bullet Club logo with, I think, purple and green, kind of like the Joker, but it looks great. If I could, I'd maybe pick up that t-shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees. But yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, Balloon Okada's going to come out. He's going to stumble to the ring with his balloons. He's going to be all sad. He's going to be wearing a t-shirt. But no, he fucking comes out to the Rainmaker music. He's got his Rainmaker robe on. Fucking Okada dollars fall from the sky. He comes out. He's got his blonde hair. Amazing robe. He's $1,010,000. Gets to the ring. Takes off the robe. Fucking trunks are back. Okada reborn. He's gonna kill it. He's like and the whole match he's just going after Jay White. I mean, the match does begin with Jay White getting the upper hand on Okada on the outside of the ring, but Okada hits this amazing move. He gets Jay White over the barricade with Gedo, and he fucking runs and launches himself over with a crossbody to take out both of them. Whenever Gedo tries to get in the match, Okada just fucks him up. It's like, no, Gedo, you're not fighting me. And gives Jay White a chair. Jay White's about to hit Okada. Okada moves. Jay White almost hits Gedo, and he kicks both of them. It's really great. Booking Okada really strong, although he still lost. Which is, I mean, it's the first time in years we've not seen Okada in like a main event role at Wrestle Kingdom, and especially without a title. So the fact that he lost was surprising, but it shows they have a lot of faith in Jay White. So the end of the match comes with Okada hits a kind of, not a full form, but he's like a rolling Rainmaker on Jay White. Then he tries to get him up for OG Rainmaker. Jay White gets out of the way, puts him in a I think he calls it the Blade Runner. It's kind of like a Sister Abigail. Almost spikes Okada because I mean it's New Japan, so he can. And 1, 2, 3, Jay White wins, takes out Okada. The Blade Runner looks like it's booked very strong. And again, the commentary do a really great job of being like, Jay White is really impressive. Jay White's doing great. Maybe Gedo made the right choice, but also Okada put in an amazing match, and they were like, Okada had so many tough fights during his title reign. His body is broken. And that's something that New Japan's commentary team do really, really well. They add to the story. I tried watching a couple of the matches without the commentary because my feed was out of sync. But then I went back and watched them with commentary. And again, yeah, just the commentary on New Japan is stellar. You can watch WWE without commentary. Maybe not NXT because Mauro's great. But New Japan, watch it with the commentary because they add so much to the story. And it's just, they help you mold those little parts of the story together. And yeah, just, I really want to see what happens with Okada next year. Maybe he's going to be challenging for a title, that's a story. Or maybe it's still going to be him sorting out this Jay White, chaos is dead storyline. Who knows? Moving on, we have the no DQ Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho match. The co-main event, the semi-main event almost. Obviously Jericho, really great no DQ match against Kenny Omega last year. I think it was, according to Dave Meltzer, it was the best match on the card last year. I'd give that to the juniors match, but I love junior matches, juniors heavyweight matches. Jericho then picks up the title at Dominion over Naito, has a really great match, I think, with Evil to defend the title. And I think there's his only... He went full Brock Lesnar with that. He basically held the title hostage. So it's just... It wasn't to the... as hardcore as the Kenny Omega match last year, where they were basically spent the whole time outside the ring. But this was a little bit more wrestling based, which I think favoured Naito and Naito's... Naito can do the wrestling. He's a very Japanese wrestler. He can wrestle really well, but maybe the hardcore stuff didn't come to him as much as it came to Omega. Maybe I don't know Naito's history. I don't know if he fought at DDT or did any of these crazy promotions. But yeah, Jericho comes out with a really spiky jacket to one of his own songs, obviously. Don't need to pay any royalties for that. And the match is just really hard hitting to begin with. Again, it's not hardcore DQ like the last match that Jericho did at Wrestle Kingdom, but it's still, they work in good wrestling on the outside. That's hardcore, which is the best I can say in that sense. One of the big spots to start the match is Naito hits Jericho with a pile driver on this ramp, and that ramp does not look like it's been gimmicked. It looks like it hurts. Then they're fighting on the outside, they're brawling, they're back on the inside. Jericho with a fucking wild, I can't say the F word, with a wild kendo stick to the face on Naito, which was like, oh my god. It looks like it really hurts. Again, they're fighting on the outside, and then Jericho spikes Naito with a DDT on the table. Like, his top of his head straight through the table. Don Callis is saying there's a hole in the table where Naito's head went. Obviously we can't see it because it's covered with a sheet. Those tables aren't gimmicked in Japan, or at least they're gimmicked very poorly because they look thick, with like 4 C's thick. Really great. They go back in the ring after a while. Then it's a bit more like just pure wrestling, which is good. Jericho has the upper hand for quite a while. until Naito reverses awards of Jericho by hitting him in the face with a kendo stick. So again, the kendo stick comes back. Again, it goes back into a bit more wrestling. Early in the match, Naito has taken off one of the corner pads, which is important for later on. Naito then hits Chris Jericho with a great DDT followed by a code breaker. So, oh shit, I'm going to beat you with your own move. Jericho kicks out. Makes sense. And then it's shortly followed by a German suplex onto chairs. And the chairs in Japan are like plastic, but they don't look gimmicked like WWE ones. They look like real chairs that are going to hurt. So a German onto the chairs. Jericho kicks out. And then I think it's weird in Japan because although it's a no DQ, you can't do things like low blows, and you can still get counted out. Red Shoes is distracted for some reason. Low blow from Chris Jericho followed by Code Breaker. You think, oh shit, it's all over. Jericho's about to win. Naito kicks out at like 2 3/4. That's perfection. And then you think, okay, Naito's got this and then they're fighting. Naito reverses Jericho. He gets out of the way. Jericho hits his face in the exposed turnbuckle from earlier on. Naito hits a Destino, like 1, 2, 3, done. Jericho kicks out at 2.5. I'm like, what? Jericho's winning this match. But then he hits Jericho with another Destino, I think onto chairs, and then he's out like a light. 1, 2, 3. Picks up his IWGP Intercontinental Championship again. I think Jericho... No, he doesn't hit him with the chairs. He hits him in the face with the title. And then he just lobs it at the ring. It's amazing. They're going back to the story where he doesn't like the IC title because it cost him a main event at Wrestle Kingdom, and it's great. He just smacks him with the title, throws it, and like Red Shoes is confused, or at least he's playing it off as confused, then hits a Destino, then beats Jericho. Jericho with 2 great Wrestle Kingdom matches and winning the IWGP title, probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he deserves all the applause. Hopefully this is a great story for Naito going forward. I really want to see him pick up the big belt again. And yeah, he ends the match. He attacks Red Shoes, and then he gets Red Shoes' son to give him the belt, and it's just all in his face. And he walks out. He's dragging the belt on the floor. No respect. Like, everyone gives people shit saying, oh, it's cool when Naito does it, and it's not cool when Roman does it. Naito goes over the top with it, so that it's like, you know it's fake. You know he really cares about it. Whereas Roman Reigns used to, and even like The Rock, he used to do it like half-assedly, not care, which was like, oh, maybe you actually don't care. But Naito's over the top, throwing that belt. I hope he tries to buy a sandwich with it again, and I hope this time the vendor takes it, because, belt for sandwich, I'd take the belt. It's worth so much money. And so we reach the main event of this Wrestle Kingdom 13. Tanahashi, winner of the G1 Climax against Kenny Omega, picked up the title in a 6.5-star match, or a 6-star match against Kazuchika Okada at Dominion in a best 2 out of 3s full match. Wow, this match, like, I know I was saying the Ibushi one was my favourite match, but that's my favourite from a sense that it was so fast-paced and a great opener. This match was really, really great because it had amazing storytelling throughout. The match has been set up with, obviously Omega is saying, I am the future of wrestling. Tanahashi is so old school. Tanahashi is saying, you have no respect for the old ways of wrestling. I am wrestling, basically. I am a god. Which, I mean, he's the ace. Go Ace! But yeah, it was really palpable that it looked like they hated each other. I don't know if they actually do. I don't know politics in New Japan. But it was like pure fire and pure hatred in their faces. It was great. I mean, not great that people hate each other, but it was great. So then, let's see. The match just starts with these massive, strong slaps to the face where they're just kicking and punching the shit out of each other. This match, I have so many notes on amazing spots they pulled off, because it was just like, what the heck, some of the stuff they were doing, and it wasn't even a no DQ match. The Bucks also came out with Omega. Oh, yep. Omega came out. He was playing the heel. He kind of looked like he had lose face, or he just looked very emotional. It looked like he knew this might be my last Wrestle Kingdom, and so he came out kind of with lose face, or very emotional. I think he was meant to be someone from Final Fantasy, maybe Sephiroth. Someone made a Final Fantasy reference when he was out there. But regardless, he looked great. He looked a bit cheesy. His entrance thing was also very cheesy, very Final Fantasy style, like a 8-bit type deal. Not 8-bit, but like a video game entrance. But yeah, it was... Jesus. There was just little things in that match that were like, okay, these two hate each other. So the slaps to start with, Omega really controlled a lot of the beginning of the match. He had Tanahashi on the floor, and he was just like, he wasn't even kicking him. He was just like nudging his face with his boot, and it was like, that just like, it's no respect. That's what was great about this match. The Okada Omega matches, very clearly there was this level of respect for each other as competitors, whereas in this match, he was saying they had no respect for each other. They hated each other. It looked like it. They go to the outside. It was like Omega body slams Tanahashi onto the Japanese announce table, but it's a bit far, and the back of Tanahashi's back goes into the edge of the table, and that's like, ow, ow, ow. And then you're like, oh, he's selling it a lot. Then Omega goes out, does a moonsault off the barricade onto Tanahashi, and it's like, whoa, dude, chill. Someone's gonna get hurt. And looked like someone in the Japanese announce team did get hurt, but I'm sure he's fine. It looks like he's fine. And it was, again, I got more notes in the story. It was this thing of the two of them very much were playing off that Tanahashi's this old school, very graceful wrestler, where Kenny Omega's like, nah, I'm here to win. I'm going to be rough. I'm going to do anything rough and tumble. So Omega sets up a table on the outside. Tanahashi gets the upper hand. It looks like Tanahashi's going to throw Omega on the table, but he's like, no, he throws him in the ring. Like, no, that's not how I do wrestling. That's not wrestling. I can wrestle. You can't. It's just like a slap in the face. It was just great storytelling, building off the story, which, I mean, going into it, a story where I'm a wrestler and you're not doesn't seem like a great story, but in the ring, it was an amazing story. Then Tanahashi, I think, is targeting Kenny's knees, which, again, is something amazing that New Japan does. The simplest of moves, a dragon screw, which is nothing in WWE, looks like it fucking is going to kill you in New Japan. He hits from the dragon screw, looks like Kenny tweaks his knee. Then he does like an elevated dragon screw on the same knee, and it's like, I think Kenny's leg doesn't work anymore. That's how amazing it looks in New Japan. It's lit. It is the definition of lit. So then move on, some amazing wrestling. Tanahashi then hits Kenny Omega with his own Tanahashi clash. Move over AJ Styles, Tanahashi's finisher. That's his now. And then Kenny kicks out, obviously. Tanahashi then hits him with a sling blade, but on the apron. Like, what the heck, dude? Sling blades are cool moves. I'll fight anyone who says a sling blade isn't a cool move. He then hits him, so the sling blade on the apron. Kenny's back is fucked at this point. It should be. So then Tanahashi kind of gets Kenny up, sets him on the table, which is like, why are you doing this, Tanahashi? And it's like, Tanahashi really wants to win. He's going to break some of his own morals. Goes to the high fly flow off the top rope. Kenny misses. Tanahashi goes through the empty table, and it actually breaks this time, unlike the last match, which again goes to show just the beautiful storytelling where Tanahashi tries to do something that's not in his wheelhouse, and it backfires on him, which is Like then from I think from then on, Tanahashi goes very traditional wrestling. From that point, more traditional. Again, so much slapping on both of them. There's just no respect. They're trying to hit their finishers. I think Kenny tries to hit a one-winged angel. It's reversed. Then he hits him with a thingamabob. He then hits him with a high fly flow, kicks out, and then they wrestle a bit more. And then he goes for another high fly flow. Tanahashi, Kenny's gets his knees up, and Tanahashi's ribs just go. It's just like you can see them compressing, and it was just ow. Omega starts working over his Tanahashi's midsection, and just hits him with so many V triggers, knees to the face, and I mean you can. If the camera work isn't great, you can see he's hitting him on the shoulder. But if the camera work is on point, it looks like he's getting kneed in the face. Which, Jesus, Kenny Omega, best bat machine. I'll give him that. So then, I think Omega hits Tanahashi with a high fly flow as well, just to add insult to injury. Goes for the pin. He kicks out at 1. So Tanahashi literally channeled his inner John Cena and just buried anyone who tries to do a high fly flow on him. And then they wrestle a bit more, and then Tanahashi hits him with 2 high fly flows, and Kenny kicks out. And it's like, oh shit, high fly flow should have put you away after 1, let alone 2. High fly flow obviously is like a frog splash off the top rope. So then they go back, they're punching each other, they're slapping each other. It's very sloppy. They're in so much. I think this is the longest a main event at the Tokyo Dome has ever gone, or at least in a Wrestle Kingdom. I think someone mentioned that. But then a one-winged angel is set up. It's like, okay, Kenny's winning this. No one apart from, I think, Kota Ibushi has kicked out of a one-winged angel. So yeah, but he couldn't get it off. It was a weird reversal, like Tanahashi flips himself and like almost does like a rough rider on Kenny Omega to the floor, gets him up, hits him with a sling blade, another high fly flow, 1, 2, 3. The Ace picks up his 8th IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and Kenny Omega is a transitional champion. It looks like 6 months as champion is nothing. I mean, it's impressive, obviously, but compared to Okada's 2-year run, the story they had with Kenny trying to pick up that title, and the first time I think someone picked up the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom in like 8 years, and I think the last time it was Tanahashi winning it. So it was just a great match. It was, I don't know what else to say. It was just so powerful. The show itself was so powerful. Tanahashi's promo at the end was very sweet. Bit weird. At least I don't think I heard him say anything really nice about Omega. I know Okada did that with Omega and Naito at the last 2 Wrestle Kingdoms, but maybe it was just the story of they hate each other so much, I'm not going to say anything nice about you. Or even maybe it's because Kenny's potentially leaving New Japan, and New Japan don't really want to put him over as he's leaving, which, if that's the case, that's a bit sad. Hopefully that's not it, and hopefully it just works into the story. Yeah, if Kenny's gone, it was a great match to go out with. I'm sure the Wrestling Observer himself, Dave Meltzer, is going to give this 5 stars, 5.5 stars. Again, apart from the Ibushi match, it's probably the best match on the card. For me personally, it's the second best, but I think to everyone it will be the best. And yeah, it was just a great show. It's a shame that All Elite Wrestling stuff was hanging over the show. And it's a shame that stuff with Kenny Omega was hanging over the show. But it was a amazing experience. It was such a breezy show, got through it. So much fun, and yeah, so definitely check out Wrestle Kingdom. Thank you for listening to this review and breakdown of Wrestle Kingdom. Hopefully, as this is our first episode, what a way to kick off a podcast. The Kayfabe Krimes podcast. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. There's going to be a lot more content. We're going to get people who've never watched wrestling before to watch some weird death matches. Huh? How about that? And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. If you're listening, so watching this on YouTube, give it a like and subscribe. If you are listening to this on a podcast app, please leave a 5-star review. It's really helpful. And a comment. I think you can leave them a review, just letting me know what you want. And yeah, so thank you for listening to the Kayfabe Krimes podcast, and we will be in your ears later. Kaze ni nare.